The night sky over the green world of Fariyin was calm, peaceful. Children laughed in the fields, and the elders watched the stars with quiet joy. For 1,000 years, nothing had disturbed their world. They believed danger was only part of old stories. But that night, something came from the dark, something no one expected. It started with a flicker. A strange light appeared in the sky. Then the stars themselves seemed to shake. Giant ships, black and silent, came through space, like shadows. They didn't speak, they didn't warn, they attacked. The Zorak swarm had returned. Screams filled the air as fire rained down from the sky. Buildings melted, fields burned. The Fariyin had no weapon strong enough to fight back. Their ships were slow, their tech peaceful. They were artists, farmers, dreamers. They had no soldiers. The swarm showed no mercy. In a last act of hope, the Fariyin leaders sent a distress signal into deep space. It was short, just one message. Please, help us. We are dying. The message spread across the stars, like a whisper. But no one answered. The great civilizations of the galaxy had heard it, and turned away. The Council of Nine heard the call and said, "The Zorak are too strong, we will not risk our people." Other nearby planets closed their channels, shut their gates, and watched from afar. The Fariyin were alone. Then something strange happened. An old satellite, rusted, forgotten, floating in the edge of space, came to life. Its systems powered on. Its eyes turned toward the signal. Inside it, a deep code began to run. It unlocked a path that had not been used in 200 years. The signal was copied, encrypted, and sent into a place no one remembered. A dead sector of space, a black zone where no ships traveled. Out there, something heard the call. On the far side of a dark planet, deep under the ice of an abandoned moon, an old beacon blinked red. Then green, then steady. A message was received. In that moment, far away from the Fariyin world, lights began to glow inside a massive space station hidden in shadows. Machines powered up, systems checked, engines warmed, and a voice, calm, cold. Human spoke for the first time in centuries. Distress signal received. Earth's fleet responding. No one had heard from Earth in over 200 years. Long ago, the humans had fought in the Great Galactic War. They had been strong, too strong. After the war, they vanished. Some said Earth was destroyed. Others said they chose to leave. But now the name Earth echoed again, and those who remembered it felt fear. On the planet Fariyin, the sky was still burning. The Zorak swarm circled above, preparing for the final strike. The Fariyin huddled underground, praying, crying. Then, the sky changed. A deep sound filled the air, a low hum that made the ground shake. The stars above shifted, blocked by something huge. A shadow passed over the burning land. Children looked up with wide eyes. Something had arrived, a ship, not shiny or smooth like others. It was dark, heavy, made of black metal that reflected nothing. Sharp edges, silent engines. It didn't send a message. It didn't flash lights. It simply stopped above the planet and waited. From the ship, a signal was sent across the galaxy. It was short, just 2 words. "We're here. In the council." "Hall," leaders gasped. The name on the signal made them sit in silence. One of them whispered, "Earth answered?" Another stood up, pale and shaking. "No, this will bring war." But it was too late. Back on Fariyin, the Earth ship opened. Machines dropped from the sky, tall, thin, walking like giants. They had no faces, only red glowing eyes. They made no sound as they moved. They scanned the land, then turned toward the swarm. One of the Fariyin elders watched them from a hill. He had heard stories about humans as a child. He never believed them. Now he saw the machines of Earth walking like shadows through fire. He whispered, "The humans came back." Above, more ships appeared. A fleet, a wall of metal. Earth's war fleet was awake again, and deep inside the main ship, a human commander stood still, watching the screen. His face showed no fear, only focus. He looked at the burning planet, then said one sentence, "No more running, no more crying. It's our turn now." And with that, the silence broke. Earth had entered the war, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Council of Nine met. In secret, giant screens showed images of Farian burning, and the strange black ships now floating above the planet. Every leader in the room stared in silence. None of them spoke the name, but all of them knew. It was Earth, a name almost forgotten. A name, whispered in fear in old war stories. The humans had vanished long ago, after the Great Galactic War. No messages, no ships, just silence. Some believed Earth had destroyed itself. Others believed they had gone to sleep. But now, they were awake again. A younger council member finally broke the silence. "Should we contact them?" The oldest among them shook his head slowly. "No, you do not call to ghosts. You wait, you watch, and you pray." Back on Farian, the people came out of their hiding places. The Zorak swarm had stopped their attack. The black Earth ships hovered above, unmoving like mountains in the sky. Giant machines walked through the ash, scanning, building, setting up strange towers. The Farian watched them, confused and afraid. The Earth machines didn't speak. They didn't answer questions. They only moved with purpose. Some began building walls, others pointed strange devices at the sky. One group of machines climbed the hills and stared at the Zorak mothership, which still floated just outside the atmosphere. Then, without warning, one of the Earth machines fired a small red beam into the air. It hit a Zorak scout ship. The scout ship exploded instantly. The Zorak screamed and charged. A second later, the machines of Earth began to move. They didn't run. They didn't dodge. They walked straight into the enemy swarm, and the Zorak began to die. From space, the battle looked one-sided. Earth's machines cut through the swarm like lightning through dry wood. No bullets, no lasers, just energy blasts, sonic pulses, and invisible waves that shattered the air itself. The Zorak had never faced weapons like these. Their thick armor melted. Their speed meant nothing. Their numbers didn't matter. In just minutes, hundreds of Zorak ships fell from the sky. The rest began to retreat. Across the galaxy, people watched in disbelief. News channels picked up the footage. Billions of aliens stared as the forgotten humans returned, not as diplomats or traders, but as warriors. In a small science station far from the war zone, an old alien professor reviewed the battle. He whispered to his assistant, "These aren't normal machines. These are Reaper-class drones and designed for total annihilation. Earth never built them for defense. They built them to erase threats." The assistant blinked. "But those were banned." The professor didn't answer. He just watched the black machines moving through smoke like shadows. Back on Farian, the Earth machines paused. One of the Zorak hive ships entered the lower atmosphere. It was bigger than anything before. The ground trembled as it approached. The Farians screamed and ran. The machines turned and scanned the ship. Then they stopped moving, all of them, frozen. The air fell silent. The Farians stared in confusion. The machines powered down. Red lights faded to black. One young Farian girl cried out, "They've left us!" But then, the Earth ship above sent a new signal. The ground split open. A single pod, black, round, and glowing red, dropped from the sky. It hit the dirt with a crash, kicking up ash and flame. Everyone stared at it. The pod hissed. Steam burst out. And slowly the door opened. A man stepped out, tall, calm, unarmed, human. His eyes scanned the horizon. He looked at the Farian, then at the sky. Then he spoke, voice quiet but clear. "Systems confirmed. Begin manual operation." The machines lit up again. One by one, they rose and turned to face the enemy. The human didn't wear armor. He didn't need it. As the Zorak hive ship charged toward him, he didn't move. He just raised his hand, and the air bent around him. The Zorak felt it. For the first time, they hesitated. One of their captains snarled, "It's only one human." But another, older one, stepped back in fear. No, he said quietly. It's worse. Back in the council chamber, someone received a private message from an ancient file system, an old human code. It read, Project Red Soul active. The council member stared at the screen and whispered, they didn't just bring machines. They brought one of them. Back on Fariyin, the human walked through fire, and the war had just begun. Smoke filled the air on Fariyin. The sky was still dark from the Zorak attack, but now everything was silent. No one moved. Not the Fariyin, not the enemy, not even the Earth machines. Everyone was watching him, the human. He walked alone through the ash. No armor, no fear. His clothes were black like the Earth ships. His eyes were cold like deep space. Every step he took left no sound. Every movement was calm, like he had done this many times before. The Fariyin whispered among themselves. Is he a soldier? Is he a god? Why is he not afraid? The human stopped at the edge of a burning field. In front of him was a broken Zorak crawler. Its sharp legs twitched as it tried to rise. The machine's body hissed and sparked. Then it aimed its plasma cannon at the man. The Fariyin screamed, but the human didn't move. The crawler fired. A massive blast lit up the field, blue, hot, deadly. When the smoke cleared, the human was still standing. Not hurt, not touched. The crawler's cannon had melted, twisted by something unseen. The man spoke only 2 words. Try harder. Suddenly, all the Earth machines behind him lit up. Their red eyes glowed like burning coals. They stepped forward, faster this time. Their weapons unfolded. The ground itself shook. In orbit, the Zorak mothership sent a message to its forces. Target the human. He is the command source. More Zorak ships dropped from the sky, hundreds, maybe thousands. They surrounded the battlefield, flying low and fast. A swarm of death. The human watched them come. Still he showed no fear. He touched the small device on his wrist. It glowed blue. A deep, low sound echoed from the Earth ship above. And then, it happened. A beam of black light shot from the Earth ship. It didn't glow. It didn't shine. It was like a hole in space. It hit the center of the Zorak formation, and everything inside it vanished. Not exploded. Erased. The Zorak screamed in panic. They had never seen this, never faced it. Their weapons, their numbers, useless. Still, they charged. Like angry animals, like wildfire. But the human walked forward, and every machine followed him. The battle turned into chaos. Zorak ships crashed into the ground, spinning out of control. Earth drones jumped, climbed, and tore through enemy ranks. Some split into 2. Others flew on wings of fire. The sky turned red. The ground turned black. The Fariyin couldn't believe what they were seeing. One of the elders dropped to his knees. They came, not to fight a war, he whispered. They came to end it. Near the mountains, a young Fariyin girl ran toward the human. She had lost her parents. She was crying. No one could stop her. They are. Zorak saw her and fired. The human turned. Time slowed. He raised his hand. A shield of light, thin and silver, flashed in front of the girl. The shot hit it and vanished. The girl stared at him, shaking. Are you going to leave us too? The man knelt down. His face stayed hard, but his voice was soft. We don't leave people behind. Not anymore. She nodded slowly, then ran back to her people. The human stood up and looked to the sky. More Zorak ships were coming. He tapped his wrist again. This time, he spoke a single word. Unleash. Above, something massive moved behind the clouds. The main Earth ship opened its core. A deep hum spread through the air, felt in bones and hearts. And from its center, a second ship dropped, not sleek, not fast, but heavy, ancient. Its surface was covered in old war symbols, forgotten by most of the galaxy. It was the Judgment class, Earth's most powerful warship. A legend from the old wars. It entered the atmosphere like a falling star. Zorak ships tried to stop it. None succeeded. One by one, their ships turned to dust. The human smiled just slightly. For the first time in centuries, Earth had shown its face, and the galaxy was watching. On the other side of the universe, the Council of Nine met again. They were no longer calm. One of them slammed the table. "They're not just helping, they're taking control." Another whispered, "What if they don't stop?" But no one had an answer, because deep in space, other beacons were lighting up, other humans were waking, and war was just beginning. The battlefield on Fariin had fallen quiet. Zorak ships lay broken across the land. Black smoke rose from the Gao hills. Earth's war machines stood still, red eyes glowing softly in the ash. Above them, the Judgment-class ship hovered like a moon, silent, heavy, watching. And the human, the one who had walked through fire, stood at the center. He wasn't smiling. He never smiled. He looked toward the stars, toward something far, beyond the battlefield. His eyes narrowed as if he felt something coming. He was right. Far away, deep in a cold system where stars barely shone, another message reached a forgotten place. A signal from Fariin, a report, a warning. Inside a shadowed station, a creature stirred. Its skin was like stone, its voice a hiss. It watched the footage from Fariin and slammed its clawed hand on the console. "The humans have returned." It growled. Another voice replied from the dark. "They were supposed to be gone, buried in time." "They were never gone," the creature said. "They were waiting. They were not Zorak. These creatures were older, smarter, and they remembered Earth very well. Once they had ruled the stars, until the humans came. Now they feared only one thing, Earth waking up. Back on Fariin, the humans sent out a simple message. Planet secured, Zorak retreat confirmed, no civilian losses. Inside the Earth ship, more humans woke from cryosleep. Soldiers, commanders, and engineers. All calm, all silent. They moved like they already knew what to do. One of them stepped out and looked at the battlefield. "Looks like we're late." The first human, Red Soul Unit 9, shook his head. "You're right on time. This wasn't the battle. It was the signal." "What signal?" He pointed to the sky. "The galaxy knows now. Earth is back. Let's see who still remembers us." And many did. Across space, ancient powers began to move. Some in fear, some in greed, and some hate. One of the Council worlds, Varel Prime, declared Earth a threat. "Their weapons break the peace," they said. "Their presence is a danger to all." Another world, Orin 3, sent a message of warning. "We do not forget what Earth did in the last war. Their return brings fire." But a few remembered Earth differently. A small planet called Mara 9 sent a quiet message of thanks. "We remember when Earth saved us. We remember their sacrifice." The galaxy began to divide, and all the while Earth said nothing. They just kept moving. Red Soul Unit 9 stood in the dark of the Earth ship's command deck. Maps lit up the walls. Stars shifted. New systems glowed red. "Zorak are regrouping," the AI voice said. "We have 2 days before their next strike." "Where?" he asked. "Kalos system. Colony world. 3 million civilians." He didn't blink. "Set course." The ship turned slowly in space. The engines warmed. The stars shifted. The Fariin watched it leave, still stunned by what they had seen. They tried to understand, but the only thing clear in their minds was this. Earth had returned, and they did not ask for permission. On the edge of the Kalos system, a scout ship picked up movement. One pilot looked at the radar and frowned. "It's too big," he said. "It's not Zorak." Then he saw the ship. It didn't have flags. It didn't send a greeting. But its name appeared on every screen, Earthstrike vessel. Judgment. The pilot froze. "Send a warning, tell the colony, the humans are coming." But before he could finish, the Earthship disappeared, vanished into a gravity fold. Gone. Back on Kalos, the colony governor ran through emergency plans. "We have no weapons strong enough to stop the Zorak," he said. "Evacuate the children, prepare the bunkers." But then, the sky turned black. The Earth ship had arrived. It didn't wait. It didn't ask. It opened its lower decks, and the machines dropped again, fast, precise, hundreds of them. The governor watched with wide eyes. They're fighting for us. Why? No, one could answer. Because Earth didn't fight for praise. They fought because someone asked for help and someone hurt the innocent. That was enough. In the stars above, hidden ships began to gather. Silent fleets, old enemies, watching, planning, and deep in the command deck of the Earth ship, Unit 9 stared at the growing list of systems under threat. This isn't just a Zorak war anymore, one officer said. No, Unit 9 replied. This is a test, he paused. Let's remind them who we are, and the stars began to burn. The Kalos system had never seen a battle like this. Zorak ships exploded before they reached orbit. Earth's machines moved like shadows, fast and sharp. The Judgment-class ship didn't even fire its main cannon this time. It didn't need to. The war was over in hours, but far above Kalos, hidden behind a dead moon, another fleet was watching. These ships didn't belong to the Zorak. They were quiet, black, covered in armor that absorbed light. They belonged to the Karn Syndicate, an ancient group of systems that feared only one thing: Earth's return. Inside the Karn flagship, Lord Ixal stood in front of a galaxy map. His thin fingers tapped a red light that marked Earth's warship. They are not just defending, he growled. They are reclaiming. His advisor, a tall being with 6 eyes, hissed. If we wait longer, their power will spread. We won't wait, Ixal said. It's time we remind them. The galaxy is no longer theirs. He gave the order. Launch the disruptor net. In the silence of space, hundreds of stealth satellites activated. They moved like spiders, building a dark web between the stars. The trap was ready. Earth's ship, unaware, moved toward the next colony in danger. Valis 4. It never arrived. Mid-jump, something snapped. Inside the Judgment, alarms screamed. Lights flickered. Space bent the wrong way. We've been pulled. Out of fold space, the pilot shouted. Unit 9 stood quickly. Status. We're trapped, the AI said. An artificial net is holding us in real space. On the bridge, Earth officers moved fast. No panic, just action. Activate countermeasures. Unit 9 ordered, but nothing worked. The ship floated, caught like prey. Then the attack began. The Karn fleet decloaked around them. 12 warships, each larger than cities. Cannons charged. Fighters launched. They didn't send a warning. They opened fire. The Judgment shook. Fire. And plasma hit its sides. Shields flared and bent. Decks rattled. Still no one panicked. Unit 9 stared at the screen. They came prepared, he said quietly. Good. He pressed his wrist panel. A voice answered, deep and cold. Authorization, Red Soul 9 confirmed. Unlocking protocol. Leviathan. In the heart of the Judgment, massive locks opened. A second ship hidden within the first began to wake. Not as large, not as fast, but older. Its name was the Leviathan, an Earth warship thought to be destroyed. The old wars. A ship designed for one thing only, breaking empires. Its hull was blacker than space. Its eyes, if they could be called that, glowed white, and when it rose, the Karn ships hesitated. Just for a second. And then Earth struck back. The Leviathan moved through the Karn fleet like a ghost. It didn't fire missiles. It used gravitic force, tearing ships apart from inside, bending metal like paper. One Karn cruiser folded in half. Another vanished in a silent flash. Unit 9 spoke only once. Target the flagship. The Earth AI replied. Confirmed. Lord Ixal screamed orders from his command deck. Retreat, shield the engines, but it was too late. The Leviathan arrived. Its front opened. Not a cannon, but something worse. A weapon of sound and gravity. No light, no heat. Just collapse. The Karn flagship folded inward like a ball of glass under pressure, and then it was gone. The disruptor net failed. Fold space opened. The Earth ships were free. Back inside the Judgment, the lights returned. The crew stood calm. Smoke. Drifted, but systems stabilized. One officer turned to Unit 9. That was a trap. They were waiting for us. Unit 9 nodded. Good. Let them all come. The officer hesitated. But why are they doing this now? Because they're afraid? Unit 9 said. They remember what we did in the last war, and they know we don't fight for power. We fight to stop monsters like them. On Valis 4, the colony received a single message. You are safe. Earth has arrived. But in the deep council chambers of other galactic powers, fear turned into panic. If Earth could destroy the Karn fleet, no one was safe. The Council of 9 called a meeting. For the first time in 300 years, every seat was filled. We must speak with Earth, one member said. Speak? Another shouted. We must stop them before they destroy the order we built. They are defending the weak, a voice argued. No, said the oldest one at the table. They are hunting. The room fell silent. Then a new alert came in. 3 more colonies had sent distress calls. Earth's warships had already changed course. They weren't waiting for permission. And they weren't stopping, because now Earth had seen the game, and they were ready to end it. Across the stars, fear had become a fire. After the fall of the Karn Syndicate, no one believed Earth would stop. Some hoped the humans would return home after saving a few colonies. They didn't. Instead, they kept going, system after system responding to every call for help. Not conquering, not claiming land, just showing up and destroying whoever was doing harm. Pirate lords vanished. Slaver fleets disappeared. Zorak strongholds turned. To ash, no one saw Earth soldiers. They arrived, did what they came to do, and left like ghosts. But the galaxy had seen enough. The High Council sent a message to Earth's warfleet. It was the first direct message in over 400 years. Cease operations. Your actions break the current. Peace, return to Sol. Inside the Earth flagship Judgment, Unit 9 read the message. He didn't respond right away. He stood at the edge of the war table where holograms showed every system under attack. There were too many. Peace? There was no peace. There was only silence and victims. Another officer stepped forward. Orders, sir? Unit 9 looked at the list again. No reply. Continue to Ilyar 6. The Earth fleet jumped, but this time someone tried to stop them. At the edge of Ilyar 6, a blockade waited. 50 ships from 10 different civilizations. Not pirates, not enemies. Peacekeepers. They blocked the path. One of them sent a message. You are ordered to turn back. We will not allow your war into this system. On the ground below, the Ilyar people were under siege by raiders. Their cities burned, their defenses were gone, and yet, the peacekeepers did nothing. Unit 9 stood on the bridge. He looked at the peaceful fleet and said calmly, Stand aside. The lead peacekeeper ship replied, No, we do not want war. Unit 9 responded with 3 words. Then don't interfere. The peacekeepers didn't move. So Earth moved first. But not with guns. The Judgment released a signal, one so powerful it shut down every system on the peacekeeper ships. Lights went dark, weapons failed, engines died. No one was harmed, but every ship drifted, powerless. Earth's warfleet passed between them like shadows. No one tried to stop them again. On Ilyar 6, Earth soldiers deployed in under 5 minutes. Silent black armor. No markings, no mercy. They found the raiders. They ended the siege. When it was over, Unit 9 stood at the edge of the city, next to a burned school. A child walked up to him, eyes full of tears, holding a broken toy. The child didn't speak, just stood there. Unit 9 took off his helmet. His face was scarred, tired, but his eyes were kind. He knelt down, took the toy, and fixed it in seconds, then gave it back. The child smiled. That was why Earth fought, not for power, not for glory, but because too many had turned away. Back on the Judgment, the AI gave a quiet report. New message from Earth Command. Unit 9 raised an eyebrow. Command? After all this time? Yes. Do you wish to hear it? He nodded. A voice played. Calm, strong, familiar. This is Earth. You are cleared for full intervention. No limits. Finish what we started. Unit 9 smiled. It wasn't a war cry. It was a promise. They would end this. The final phase had begun. Now Earth didn't just answer calls for help. They hunted down the cause of the suffering. They tracked the weapons suppliers, the funders, the puppet masters hiding behind galactic laws. They found the ones who profited from war and ended them, one by one. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't clean, but it was just. The galaxy watched in silence. No one cheered. No one dared speak, because even the strongest empires knew. Earth was moving through the stars like judgment itself, but some still didn't understand. One alliance, the Trevar Coalition, decided to make a stand. Not with weapons, but with a message. They broadcast a video across all channels. Earth is dangerous, Earth is violent, we must unite to stop them. Before they stop all of us. Unit 9 watched the video. He didn't get angry, he just whispered to himself, "Then you shouldn't have woken us." Because Earth hadn't wanted this war. But now that it had started, they would finish it. The stars would remember, and soon, so would the Trevar. The galaxy was quiet. For the first time in years, no battles were being fought. No screams echoed through deep space. No distress signals flashed. And yet, no one felt safe. Because Earth had gone silent. Their fleet, once seen in every system, vanished. No ships, no soldiers, no answers. The judgment ban was gone. The High Council gathered quickly. Fear filled their voices. Where did they go? Did they retreat? Are they building something worse? But no one knew. Even the spies, those planted near Earth's borders, had lost all signals. The Sol system was completely locked down, like a sleeping beast curling into itself. Some were relieved, others terrified. Because when Earth was loud, you could prepare. But when Earth was quiet, something was coming. Some thought the humans had burned out, that the war had drained them. Others said the Umbrax Dominion had destroyed the Earth fleet in secret. But deep beneath the moons of Zira Prime, something else was happening. A survivor walked through, rubble. He was an old captain from the Trevar Coalition. His face was scarred, his arm replaced with a cold metal limb. He had once called Earth a threat to peace. Now he searched for them. Because peacekeepers had failed, the Umbrax were rising again. Their shadow fleets attacked border worlds, using dark weapons Earth once warned the galaxy about, and no one could stop them. The captain found an old transmitter, buried under stone. He cleaned it, powered it on, and whispered into the void, "Earth, if you're out there, we need you." Then he waited. Nothing. Not even static. Just silence. But across the void in the Sol system, something stirred. On Earth's dark side, where no light reached, a single signal blinked red. Inside a hidden bunker, older than most civilizations, Red Sol Unit 9 stood before a black wall. The wall showed no stars, just symbols, glowing slowly. Behind him, the architect with silver eyes walked in. "They're calling again," she said softly. He nodded. "They always do." She looked at him. "Will you answer?" He didn't speak for a moment, then said, "I never stopped listening." Above Earth, the judgment powered on. No engines, just light. Its massive body rose from beneath the ocean, water pouring from its sides. Hundreds of other ships followed, ships no one had ever seen before. Not warships, something else. Older, stranger, silent. They moved into position without words. No orders, no flags, only purpose. The AI spoke inside the judgment. Threat level, extinction. Unit 9 gave the command. End it. The Earth fleet jumped, not to defend, not to rescue, but to end the Umbrax. On the Umbrax homeworld, darkness covered everything. The planet looked like a black hole. No light escaped. Their leaders laughed in the shadows. "Earth is gone. They fear us." But then the stars disappeared, not because they moved, but because something blocked them. The Earth fleet arrived in silence. No warnings, no speeches, just one. Signal sent to every system in the galaxy. This is not war, this is closure. Then the attack began. The Umbrax fought with every weapon they had. Time bombs, light eaters, reality-bending pulses. But Earth's ships were different now. They didn't break. They didn't slow. They moved like things that weren't alive, like ideas made real. In 1 hour, the Umbrax homeworld was surrounded. In 2, it was gone. Not destroyed, not burned, just erased, like it had never existed. And the galaxy trembled. The High Council begged for answers. Where is Earth going now? What do they want? But Earth sent no messages. They just returned home. The judgment landed once more in Earth's oceans. The other ships followed, slipping beneath the surface like silent guardians. And then, silence. Real silence. No more cries for help, because no one dared harm the innocent anymore. Not after what they saw. On one far-off world, a child looked up at the stars and whispered, "Will the humans come again?" Her mother smiled gently, "Only if we need them." The stars stayed quiet, but somewhere deep in space sensors watched, listening, waiting, and on Earth. In a room filled with quiet light, Unit 9 looked at the sky. He didn't speak, he didn't smile, but he was ready. Because peace was a beautiful thing. But if it broke, the galaxy knew who would rise. Not kings, not councils, humans, and this time, no one would survive trying to stop them.